Hello and welcome to our international free webinar. This is Sume Salma, core volunteer and head of campus ambassador in IGP. Thanks all for joining with us in this wonderful evening. Now, before starting our program, let me tell you about IGP. Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution provides social work. We believe that it is not effective to increase one's skill just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. So let's start our program with IGP's mantra, feed your skill. Today our 91 webinar topic on Live and Lead with Vision and Purpose with Honorable Speaker Christopher Hampton. I would like to introduce our speaker. He is the founder of the CHAMP IM organization. He enjoys challenging and motivating entrepreneur leaders as well as youth organization to break out of their comfort zone. Our speaker believes that everyone has an inner champ. Today, he will help you to release your champ IM in you. I'm really super excited to find my champ. So please give a warm welcome to our Chris sir. Hello, sir.
How you doing, Umi? It's great to meet you and your audience today, and I'm excited to have this conversation with you today.
Yes, I am also excited.
So we can just get started?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. It's good to see everybody. Good morning, good evening. It's morning over here in New Jersey in the United States. I see on the chat that it's good evening. Well, it's always a good time for change. So I am, again, Chris Hampton, and my organization is called CHAMP IM, and it's a leadership and personal development. Today, we're going to talk about the topic of how to live and lead with vision and purpose. How to live and lead with vision and purpose. And this is a very informal conversation because I want you to really look at it not as from an academic point of view, but I want you to be able to see this as a lesson that you are able to apply to yourself. A lot of times we look at leadership and we look at leadership from the point of a position. We look at leadership and leading as I'm here to lead the masses. But I always believe that leadership is not meant for the select few. Everyone has the ability to lead. I'll say that again. Everyone has the ability to lead. Say that. You need to make that affirmation that says, no matter what your economic situation is, no matter what your environment around you, you have the ability to lead. And a lot of times when we go and we look for leadership positions, what we do is we look for the position to lead others, but we forget to lead the primary person. The primary person that you have to learn to lead is you first. Say me. I want to see trap. I'll put it in the chat that I need to learn to lead me. Just put lead me in the chat. Lead me in the chat. So because if we can't lead other people, if we cannot lead ourselves first, I'll say that again. We cannot lead other people if we're not able to lead ourselves first. Let me just show you how important leadership really is. So when it comes to leadership, everything rises and falls off of leadership. The value of leadership. Nothing happens without leadership. Nothing changes without leadership. Nothing develops without leadership. Nothing will improve without leadership. Nothing is corrected without leadership. Nothing advances without leadership. Nothing succeeds without leadership. Dr. Miles Monroe says we are always directly or indirectly being led. But even the foundation for our leadership, if we have no vision, where are you leading people to? So what we're going to be talking about today is, one, again, how to lead for those who are coming on, and live through leadership. And the very first person, again, we're leading is ourselves. Okay? I have a quote. It says, vision and purpose are the two lenses needed to see life clearly. When I say lenses, I mean eyeglasses, the lenses, the focal lenses that you need. Okay? We need to see. Okay? Vision and purpose. Okay? And without either of them, you're not going to be able to see clearly. So I'm a definition person. I like to find out. I like words. So when I think about throwing these terms out here, I just don't want to give you terms. I want to give you a workable definition. What is vision and why is vision so important? Vision, for our definition today, vision is a clear mental picture of your preferable future. It is a clear mental picture of your preferable future. Vision gives you the ability to see the possibility of your future. Without vision, it's difficult to see where you're going. Without vision, it's hard to see where you're going. Now, when we talk about vision, there's two types of main vision that I like to break it down into. And it's very important that you're able to differentiate the two. When you have vision, you can have vision like we define, which is your future vision or your long-term vision. Or we can deal with what we call sight. So there's two visions. There's the vision, which is the vision of your preferable future. It is the vision of your possibilities. It is the life that can be. And then you have sight. And here's the problem. Most people, when you ask them about their life and how they're living, okay, they will give you a sight answer and not a vision answer. What are you doing? Well, right now we're in the midst of a global pandemic, and our prayers are going out to those that are in India right now that are suffering with the pandemic and are losing family. We send our prayers to you. But even in the midst of a pandemic situation, you need vision to see your way out of it. Because when we're dealing with sight, sight is always dealing with what's close up, what's in front of you. And what happens in life sometimes when we get hit with the problems of life is that what's in front of us becomes so all-encompassing in our vision, in our sight, that we get distracted. We have a pandemic. And there are two types of people right now in the midst of a pandemic. There are those that are using this as an opportunity to grow and are able to create businesses and opportunities. There are those that are able to navigate their families through this situation. And then there are those that are totally shut down, not able to move forward. They're struggling day to day because all they see is the problem of the pandemic or the problem. Without vision, without a picture of the future, a clear perception of where you're moving to, what will happen is you will get blocked by sight every time. You'll be blocked by sight every time. Let me just give you a practical application. Let me show you. Everybody, I know you can't see me, but I can't see you. But I want you just to put your hand in front of your face, like this. And this is what happens when you have no vision of the future. You're stuck with what's in front of your hand. And right now, my hand looks like it's covering the circumference of my vision. I can't see anything but the roadblocks that are in front of me, which is my hand. And some of us right now are dealing with that, where we have a situation where what? We're being blocked and our vision is being blocked, and it's what I see. But when you have a sense, a vision, and we say vision, and we said again, that vision is that clear picture of what you are working towards, that possible future. When I have vision, I'm able to see beyond what's in front of my hand right now. I realize that what's in front of my hand is just an obstacle of sight. It's an obstacle. And what happens when I realize that it's an obstacle, I realize that I can move it out the way, I can go through it, I can go over it. So today I want you to be able to understand, and I want you to be able to say that when we are framing this conversation for today, we are framing it in the conversation that vision is greater in sight, and I need to get a bigger picture of the future that I want to live. I want a bigger picture than what's in front of me right now. Because if you focus on sight issues, it's very easy to get waylaid, discouraged, and set back. Because what you see in front of you is bigger than life, your perception. But you're equipped to be able to live beyond what you see. So today, we're not only going to talk about the importance of vision and purpose, which I'm about to define what purpose is, but we're going to show you how to create your own vision for your life. And you're going to understand the value of why we should have a vision for our life. Okay? That's very important. So, you need vision. That was the first lens. You see that I need the ability to see. So I'm going where I'm going, where I want to see the direction that I'm going. The word purpose, the main root of that word is in being intentional. So not only do I need to see where I'm going, I need to be intentional. Somebody write down in the chat, intentional. That means there's something that I'm aiming for. There's a direction that I am building my life towards. Purpose gives you the reason for the journey. And the reason why these two things are purpose, because if you don't have a direction, someone's going to direct you. Your vision, when you ask a company, if you're going to look at a company, every company that's out there has a vision and mission statement. Every company that's out there has a vision and mission statement. Why? Because if they don't have that vision and mission statement, they will be, their attention can be drawn anywhere. Same thing for your life. Let me ask you this question. Instead of the drinking water every day, could you ask this question? How many of you have a personal vision that you have written down? Let me see that. How many of you have a personal vision and a personal purpose that you have written down? How many of you can actually vocalize if you were sitting with somebody right now and you could express it clearly? What is the vision and the purpose for your life? Very important. Why? Because like that company, you need to run your life like that company and run everything that you have through that vision and your purpose. It is so important that you have vision and purpose because you run your choices through your purpose. Your choices that you make today should be choices that are run through the the lenses of your vision and purpose. It's so important that your relationship choices should complement your purpose and your vision. Why? Even I'll break it down on a relational benefit. You shouldn't date someone, court someone, and they don't respect your vision and your purpose. Why? Because in life, it takes agreement. You can't walk together and accomplish something together if you don't agree on the purpose and the vision of where you're going to. So the people that you associate with, the material that you read, the things that you put into you should be funneled through vision and purpose. There are a lot of people right now, when you understand that you have vision and purpose and how important vision and purpose is, and you know what you are called to do, you see life clearly. You can see it clear. We are surrounded by opportunities. You may look at your life right now and you're like, I don't see the opportunities. My question is, do you see your vision and purpose? Because when you see your vision and purpose, opportunities become more clear. I had a situation where I've always known that I was going to be an international speaker. Even as a young person, I've known it. It was a part of my life plan. Didn't know when it was going to happen, but I always knew that it was going to happen. Okay? What I did was the jobs that I chose were jobs that complemented my vision and my purpose. So I have always had jobs where I was in the sales career. All right, that's a good question. So I'm going to say your mission. Your vision is what you see. Your mission is how you accomplish. Someone asked the question, can I explain what the mission is? The mission is how you're going to accomplish the vision. Your vision will expand and grow with you. So will your mission, because your mission is how I'm going to tackle the position. That's why you have a vision statement, which we're going to develop today, but you're also going to have a mission statement. And it's almost like how we do the vision board. I'm going to go back to my other point, but how we do vision boards. But a lot of us just have board visions because we put the goals up there. We put the vision up there. And a lot of times we put the surface issues on vision boards and we make the vision plain where we can see it, but we fail to do the next step, which is giving me suitable, appropriate actions to making sure that vision is going to happen. So you can't do some of the things that you're doing and you're constantly applying debt. So part of your mission is I am going to clean up my debts so that I can be qualified to get financing. Okay? So your vision is your hopeful statement. Your purpose is your action your destination statement. What you are working towards, and your mission is your action statement. Okay? That's the best way I can kind of separate the three. But going back to your choices, I really want to make sure you don't take that lightly. That the partnerships that you make in life, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's relational, you really do need to see the real you in the picture. Does that make sense? You need to see the real you in the picture, because it's so easy to get off the track for your life that you're distracted with life, and then you never, ever fulfill the purpose that you have been meant to do. There is an impact that you are meant to have in this earth. The world needs you, but you have to see the value of your personal vision for your life. So let's talk about this. Vision, we talked about, is your where and your what I see, where I'm going. Purpose is your intention, your why, and your how. Purpose is your why and your how. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down on a piece of paper, especially if you don't have a personal vision right now. If you don't have a personal vision right now, write these things down. I want you to write down the words, where am I going? So I want you to put where, what, why, how, and when. Where, what, why, how, and when. Where, what, why, how, and when. Okay? So we're going to help you develop your vision and purpose statement. And it's going to be a lot easier than what we think it is to do, because sometimes I think we make it a little harder than it needs to be. Okay? So where am I going? Where am I going? That's your destination. I look at myself and say, in this life, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm an entrepreneur. I manage a whole state when it comes to a whole state of sales agents now. I'm an author. Okay. I'm a community leader. Okay. All these things are a piece of the why. Because my destination in life, my preferable future in life is I want to be at a level where I am empowering my community. I'm helping people to see and embrace their vision and their purpose for their life. That's my destination, my why. Okay? So I know where I'm going to. The problem with the where as you're going, sometimes we struggle with the where, is because where you're going, a lot of times it's bigger than where you currently are. And we get intimidated by the destination. We look at whether, and stop comparing your destination to other people's destination. Your destination is your destination. Not everybody on this call is meant to be millionaires. Some of you may be raising up the next cure to cancer because your family goal is, I want to raise a solid family with values that reflect our generation and our life. And I just want to have a good family. By you having that good family, you actually birth the cure to cancer. So don't compare your vision to someone else's destination. Your destination is yours. Okay? So when I know where I'm going, my destination, the next part I said was what? What am I supposed to do while I'm on my way to where? So the what is, what am I supposed to do while I'm on my way? What am I supposed to do while I'm on my way? Okay, so what that means is when you know what you're supposed to be doing, you know what you're not supposed to be doing. So now what happened is, I told you that I said I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to have a global business that would end up becoming a global business opportunity for me. Okay, the thing about that is, I didn't do that overnight. I didn't accomplish that overnight. It took me about 20 years in the making of me keeping it in here and building it in here. But what happened was I started taking jobs again that complemented where I wanted to go. So I did a sales job. And I've been in sales for the last 20 years for multiple companies. But here's what I learned from the sales. The job was actually preparing me for my purpose. Say it with me. Your job, when you understand what your vision and your purpose is, your job becomes more than a job. Your career becomes more than a career. Why? Because your career ends up preparing you for your future. You learn from the relationships that you have with your management. If you serve horrible management, anybody have bad management, bad leadership, and you've been under bad leadership? Well, even serving bad leadership helps your purpose. Why? Because you learn from that situation that I'm not going to be that type of leader. But when you don't have vision and purpose, that job becomes a yoke, like a burden on you. It's heavy, it's depressing, it's oppressing. Because you don't see that there's any reason why you're going through all this pain, and you're going through all this pain unnecessarily. But when I have vision and purpose, I realize that this is teaching me something for the greater purpose. Since I was in sales, what it taught me was how to teach and how to break down and how to communicate my product to a client. So I had 20 years of learning how to do that. It taught me how to deal with executive level management. Because at one time I had to set appointments and close executive people, okay, level people. It showed me how to not be micromanaged. I didn't need somebody over my shoulder telling me what to do. I was able to set the goal and accomplish the goal. This is all the lessons that I learned from being in a sales environment that I am now taking on with me as I am building my organization that I don't need a job for anymore. But my job was preparing me so that I could run the Champ I Am organization. Do you see how the long view has benefited me? Even the bad. Here's a scripture that we talk about. It comes from the Bible. It says how what the enemy meant for your destruction, God turns it around for your good. So that's saying that even in bad situations, it can be turned around to benefit you when you see the bigger picture of what you are building. So where am I going? My destination. What am I supposed to do while I'm on my way there? The next one is why. The next one is why. And why talks about my intention, my reason. Why do I want to be this global speaker? Do I just want to be out there? Do I want to be out there because of my own personal ego? What is my intention for being where I want to be? No, my reason for being out there is not that I can make millions, even though I can make millions. That's not the intention. Because if I was about making millions for the 20 years of me putting my time into this, I wasn't making anything yet. Right? So it wasn't the money that was the issue. It was the purpose and the intention of being able to see the blessing of the light bulb coming on when people can say, I see my vision. I feel a certain kind of way now as I'm talking to all of you out here today. I feel a certain kind of way. I'm in my zone. Why? Because I'm talking to nations right now all over the world about you finding your vision and purpose. When you find your why and your what and your where, there's a place of peace that you have and fulfillment that you have. Why? Because I'm working this journey on purpose. So I have my intention, my reason, my what, my where. So I said, where am I going? What am I supposed to be doing while I'm on my way to where? Why is my intention and my reason? How? This is a good one. How? Write down how. Okay? How is my vehicles that will get me to purpose? And I want to challenge you because a lot of us have been ingrained to stay in one vehicle. It is your vehicle. Let me say, my first car was a beat up brown Nissan Datsun. Okay, they don't even make that car anymore. Okay, that was a vehicle that I had in high school, primary. I guess I don't know if it's secondary or primary, but we in high school when it's time for me to drive. That was my first car, the beat up Datsun. Now, am I still driving in the same car that I was driving in high school? No. And that's what vehicles do. And a lot of times what we are trained by our education system to do is we are trained to take a career and stick with that one career for the rest of your life. When I say, what do you want to do when you grow up? You most likely will tell me a vehicle rather than a vision. You will name a vehicle rather than your purpose. An example, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a teacher. Well, the teacher is a vehicle. You could tell me that I'm called to teach. That's different. I feel a calling to teach. That's different. To say, I'm going to be a teacher. And then automatically what you do is you just pick the vehicle. And here's a lot of times, the reason people will work a teaching job until they get to 50 or they get to a certain point in their age in their life. And they're like, is this all? Why? Because they were married to a vehicle. I'm a teacher now. I felt the call to be a teacher because I knew that I was called to be a teacher. But I don't want to see myself in a classroom, a high school classroom every day, talking to the same people every day, teaching that one lesson every day. Excuse me. I'm a teacher now. And motivational speaking is just one of my vehicles that I use to take me to reaching my vision and my goal. It's just one of the vehicles that are there to take you. Yes, I'm an accountant. I'm an accountant. That's a vehicle. I'm a CEO. That's a vehicle. Why? Because your vision is your life plan, not a 10-year plan, not a 30 plan, not because what happens when the 30 years is up? So we said, where am I? What am I supposed to do? Why? How? And most importantly, when? Most importantly, when? When do you want to start? I say now. Put a timeline on that goal. Put a timeline that you have markers on your way to your purpose. Why is that important? Markers are important because when you talk about markers, they're your timelines, okay? Markers let you know that you are building and that you've reached a mark, and it tells you where you can celebrate. That's the difference between like I said, the vision board and the board vision. Because in the vision board, you have mile markers that are letting you know where your success points are going to be. Again, we said, where am I going? What am I supposed to do? Why am I doing it? What are my vehicles? The how am I going to do it? And then the when. If we don't have our vision and our purpose planned out like this, we waste a lot of time because we don't understand what we are seeing and we don't know what we ought to be doing. Now, here's an important piece. Vision and purpose, although they are preferable, they're not definite. I'll say that again. Vision and purpose, although it's a preferable future, it's not a definite future. Remember, vision is a preferable future, not a promised future. So he's like, you're telling me all this, and you're telling me I got to put all this work in it, you're telling me I need to do all this, then why do I need to do it if it's not a preferable future, a promised future? Why? Because if you're not willing to do what it takes to make it happen, you will live in an alternate reality. I'll say that again. If you're not willing to do what it takes to make it happen, you will live in an alternative future. You got to be willing to put the work in it. Faith and hope in what you believe, and no works, what you're believing for is not going to do anything. You can see a thing, but if you don't see it and you're not willing to work and put the time into it, it is nothing. It's going to equate to nothing. I've been wanting to be an author for the longest time. I'm finally getting my book out. It's called Everyday Leadership for Everyday People, and it'll be out in July. But the great thing about that was it took me years to do it. Why? Because it was all up in here. And all up in here is not going to do anything. You see, there are wishers, there are dreamers, and there are visionaries. Wishers, dreamers, and visionaries. Write that down. Wishers, dreamers, and visionaries. They're not bad. Sometimes we are wishing it's in my imagination. When I wish for something, it's in my imagination. It's in my mind's eye. I can see it, but when it's a wish, you don't believe that it's totally possible yet. Some of us, because of our environment that we live in, in my country, if it wasn't expected for a person of color to be successful. And it was ingrained in us growing up that we had to fight against a system that was oppressing us, to the point that the oppression came a mindset. So when it looked at, okay, can I ever see a black president of the United States? Some of us would wish that it happened, but we didn't believe that it could happen. And wishing is okay because that's the beginning of it hitting your imagination. But you can't stay there. Okay? The next one is the dream. The dream is that I see it. I believe it. I can taste it. So it's in there. It went from a wish to a dream. Now, one of our celebrated heroes in the United States is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he had a very famous speech that went down in history that said, "I have a dream." And we immortalized that speech, not realizing that Dr. King had a greater aspiration than the dream. Because he saw freedom, he tasted freedom, but in the midst of him now starting to build blocks to make it happen, he died in the midst of the dream. Dreams are important, but we have to be able to go beyond the dream, which leads you to the vision. The vision is when you see it, you can taste it, you can feel it, it's there, it becomes a reality, it's in your heart, it's in your mind, and now you start to take action and start to build on it. And you see, that's what happened. Dr. King, he was assassinated in between the process of the dream and the vision. All three of those, wishers, dreamers, visions, are all important, but you can never stay in the first two too long. There's a thought that says a dream deferred or a hope deferred makes the heart sick. The reason why a lot of people are struggling mentally and struggling in depression and struggling with anxiety is a part of it is because they've lost hope, because they're stuck in the wish and the dream. And they're saying to themselves, there has to be more to my life than this. Don't fall victim to the curse of potential. Because potential is talking about the possibilities of what life can be. And when you go and you live with a potential mindset, it's a trap, because you never leave out of that wish mode, never leave out of that dream mode. And what happens is your dreams become internalized. Your vision becomes internalized, where you keep it in you. You never talk about it. You can never put your hand on it, because you just stop believing that it's possible. You start to, your skills will go undeveloped. And then you'll start missing the opportunities that are coming along the way. Ray, I saw that comment. It says, as a human, I get triggered and get mad by the factors of my environment. Yes. I am in no way saying that your environment is not real. Your environment is real. But what makes humans beings, I would say, greater than most of the animals in the animal kingdom, is we have the ability to not only see that our environment is there, but we're able to adapt. We're able to use our imagination and grow in the midst of whatever our environment is there. So I want to encourage you that even though your environment may be a rough environment, there are opportunities that are around you, even in your current environment, that will change and help you to go to the next level and accomplish the vision that you have. There was a story of a guy that ran a farm, and he had cows, and cows do what cows do. They eat grass and they leave remains. They eat grass and they leave remains. He only saw the opportunity of what the cow normally does, is that cow gives milk and the cow gives meat. And it took another person that was driving by and saw all the fields out there, and all he saw was the messy field with the messy remains. Okay? He was able to take the crap, the remains from the cow, and he saw another opportunity. He says, I'm going to turn this crap into fertilizer. And he was able to see what the farmer had tons around. And the farmer was not able to see the opportunity that was right in front of him. He was sitting on a gold mine of crap, a gold mine of remains that he saw was worthless, but someone who understood that that crap can be turned into fertilizer now made millions that could have been in that farmer's hands and that was surrounded by him. And I'm saying that because around your feet, in the environment that you have, there is an opportunity somewhere. There's an opportunity somewhere. What I'm challenging you to do is to put your vision and your purpose glasses on, because so far we spent most of our life looking through the lens of everybody else's lenses. But when you put on your purpose and your vision lens, you're like, whoa, I can see clear. Any of y'all wear glasses out there? You wear glasses and you live life without wearing your glasses, and then all of a sudden you put your glasses back on and you're like, whoa, this is what life looks like. You're missing out opportunities because you don't have, and you're looking at life through the wrong lens. You're looking at life through the lens of your parents. You're looking at life through the lens of the media. We're in the midst of the pandemic, and the multi-million-dollar idea comes out is people started creating their own masks and started selling masks, and we're vain, so we have to have designer masks to match all of our outfits. That's an opportunity that came from the imagination. What are the opportunities that are at your present feet right now that you are missing? What are your dreams that you are internalizing and never putting to life? What are your skills that are going undeveloped because you're looking at your job as just a job? And that's the problem is that, again, I want to show you how to maximize every opportunity that's in front of you. You see, without vision and purpose, what happens is we live a life of enslavement. Without vision and purpose, you will spend your life being a slave to building someone else's monument. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to be free. And that's what vision is going to do. I want to open it up because we're going to come to the close of the first hour. Are there any questions that you have that we can answer? I'm looking at the thread right now, and I wanted to see, I want to make sure if we answer any questions. I want you to take a moment right now and write down, I know you're answering other questions, but see if you can write down what, your what, your where, your what, your why, your how, and your when. And can someone share in the chat where? Can we get some examples of someone's where? So what I want you to do is put where, and then put what you're building for. All right, I'm seeing a lot of the questions going for the other question. Can we see that what the where is? So we said, where am I going? What am I supposed to do? Why? How? And when? I see you on me.
That's amazing, sir. I just feeling energetic because your every word influence us.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I just feeling energetic because your every word influence us. Every step. So I think every step, every work we have to be value our vision, our destination, and concept also. Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable insight on vision, mission, and also love ourselves. Now it is time to quiz competition.
Oh, we have a quiz competition. Okay. Okay. So in that,
Yes, sir. After quiz competition, we'll go for the Q&A.
okay.
Oh,
Go ahead, Umi. I got it from here. Do you want me to ask the question?
Yes, sir. Cause after the quiz competition, like 10 minutes, for 10 to 15 minutes, we'll go for the Q&A course. Lots of questions from our participants. So you should be answered the questions.
Okay. Good. Good.
Now
All
it's
right.
time. It's time for quiz competition. So everyone, I hope everyone join in this quiz competition. So let me share my screen. Then I can. The participants, this is the code for today's quiz competition from Kahoot, and you don't need to download anything. Just join in Kahoot to browse in Google. Just Kahoot. After this quiz competition, we'll go for the Q&A. So now it's time for quiz competition. So please join everyone, and we will issue certificates for first, second, and third. We'll just consider more 3 minutes for joining. So join before 3 minutes. Dear participants, for each question you will get 1 minute for every question. So take your time. So take your time and put the right answer on Congratulations, first, second, and third. So, please share your name, full name, and gender into our comment, into our page inbox. Then we can issue the certificate immediately. So, those who are first, second, and third, first of all, congratulations, and it's recorded request that please drop a message in our Facebook page inbox with your full name and gender. Then we can issue the certificate immediately. And I would like to announce another. Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Sir, something on your screen. So read out this for you. This is special for someone.
Okay, so it says congratulations to Riccardi Manzanillo. We have a special gift for you, and we've noticed that till date you attend most sessions with us. So we share a lifetime membership and certificate from IGP. Congratulations.
Again, congratulations to Richard. So now it's time for our Q&A.
All right, let me see. I just saw the comment placed out. All right. Someone had asked a question earlier. Okay. The question is visionless and personless person able to succeed in life by chance or by good luck? That's really an open-ended question. That's like chance. I say your chances to succeed are more when you know what direction you're going. So a better way to look at that question is like, if you know what your destination is, you know the directions that it takes to get there. When you have no directions and you have no map, you have no code, it makes it harder for you to get to where you are. So can you be successful and have no vision and have no purpose? Yes. I believe you can. I've actually run into people that I think that have, become successful by accident or by you know, even like by chance, right? By chance is by inheritance or by money or things like that. But when you go to have the truly satisfied life, you want to make sure that you increase your chances by knowing what you're doing. And again, a lot of times we're learning these lessons because we're learning them by accident. Because if you've been living life without vision and purpose, you're missing out on the opportunities, like I said, in the workplace, for your job to be able to train you for the things that you're supposed to go that are greater than where you are. So you're going to miss out on certain opportunities because you don't have a vision, or there's a lack of vision or purpose in the life. There's a scripture that talks about where there's no vision, the people perish. And what that means is that the people run amok because they have no sense of direction. So you're less likely to succeed without vision and purpose, because your vision and purpose also will keep you accountable to your goals. Okay. How do we find opportunities in a challenging situation? Can you cite a specific example? Great. When the pandemic hit, it's an example of being able to learn. Sometimes you might have to be aware of learning something different, getting used to being uncomfortable, and finding those opportunities. Sometimes you just got to be able to not look at the path that's traveled the most, because a lot of times we are looking at the same path with the same eyes as everyone else. So what I want you to do is to try to start looking at life with a wider view than what you have right now. A lot of times we are attracted to the problem and our attention draws to the problem. Just like the farmer, he had opportunities in front of him, but because he didn't see the bigger picture of what he was looking for, he missed out on the fortune of all that fertilizer that he was surrounded by, all that crap that he was surrounded by that he could have turned, reprocessed it, and made it into a completely different product. And it was sitting right in front of him. So getting that wider view. An example in my life is when the pandemic hit. As a speaker, we like to speak on stages with live people, with live audience. Last year was my first year to be an international speaker. I told you my goal was to speak internationally, right? I got my first invitation to actually come to London, England and speak in June, okay? But by June, the hotels shut down. By June, the airlines shut down. By June, they shut me down, okay? What happened was I had to sit back and say, as a speaker, what am I going to do? I had to learn how to pivot and change what was in front of me. What happened was I wasn't good at what I'm doing now. I really didn't see myself as a virtual presentation speaker. I didn't like being in front of the camera. Being in front of the camera was uncomfortable. Looking at you right now, I'm a little bit better than I was when I started a year ago. So I started doing more virtual presentations and getting better and better and better, okay? And now I've been speaking in more locations globally. Look at who I'm talking to now. I'm talking to people that are in the Philippines. I'm talking to people that are in Sri Lanka, India. You can name some of the countries that you're on. I'm speaking right now on one call to more countries than my feet can actually be on at one time. So that's an example of looking at the opportunity in a challenging time, because I've also been able to grow my school from here. I've been able to grow my platform. It's all been on the virtual changing because I shifted because of the opportunity in the midst of the problem. So I hope that was a clear answer and a good example. Is there such thing as a self-made man? Self-made in the aspect of you have to get yourself up in the morning to do what you need to do. However, the vision that you need to have is always going to be bigger than you. So your success is not based off of yourself. Your success is based off of the people that come and help you to accomplish the vision and lift your vision up. Yes, you have to take responsibility and accountability for what happens in your life. But after that, you also have to make room for the people that are supposed to come beside you and help you to grow your vision. How strong is the vision? The vision should be more than I want to make money. The vision should be more than what's in the present. Your vision strength. Remember, the power of vision and purpose is what's going to keep you focused for the journey. Okay? It's going to keep you focused for your journey. So that vision has to be strong enough to keep your attention centered when everything around you is going all over the place. Okay? That's how strong your vision needs to be. If it's not, it won't. If your vision is not a strong vision, it will not stand when it's time to be tested. And when it's time to be tested, is are you really going to put the time in building your business in the midst of a recession or in the midst of a poverty, an earth-shaking poverty environment? Are you still going to pursue your vision? I don't care right now until the apocalypse comes. I'm going to be working my vision. If the world's falling apart, I'm still going to be working my vision because my vision was given to me before the apocalypse hit. So I'm going to be still functioning in the midst of my problems because my vision is that strong. I believe vision comes first because the vision is what you see yourself, and the vision again is it's a mental picture of your preferable future. And remember, your purpose is your intention. So as you are purposely moving towards what you saw. So vision comes first. Make time that you are sitting and visualizing and having a visualization time for your life. Okay? So vision comes first, then purpose. I want to go to Hawaii. And then my purpose is I got to get plane tickets. I got to save up. I want to make sure I have spending money. It's my intention and the why afterwards. How can we set up our mind in this crisis circumstances? I do not say ignore the crisis, but in the midst of your crisis, your vision is supposed to shine. Your vision is supposed to be the lighthouse that is giving you direction in the foggiest time of your life. Your vision is supposed to be the thing that's keeping you from crashing against the storm. So in the mind of your circumstances of how can we deal with crisis circumstances, understand that crisis and afflictions and problems are going to come. I am not one of the people that say that nothing's going to happen. Things are going to happen, but you have to make sure that you're keeping your eye not on what's in front of you, but that future that you are working towards. And then when you realize that this crisis is not a permanent thing, that it's not going to always be here, you're able to weather the storm a little bit stronger. Well, how can I remove distraction from achieving a goal? Again, when we talk about vision and purposes, when you know what you're supposed to be doing and what you are working towards, it automatically prioritizes what you should not be doing, what you should not be spending your money on. When you know what your end result that you're working towards, it makes making the decisions of what needs to be cut out your life a lot easier. It's clearer to you. Now, mental vision versus spiritual vision is no mental versus anything. A lot of times your spirituality is the core of who you are. I'm a Christian in my spiritual walk. I'm a believer in my spiritual walk. My morals and my spiritual guidance dictates my response in situation. It is when circumstances comes, I can lay back on my faith. And my faith and what I believe is based, and what I speak is based off of what I believe. So my belief systems, whether they're spiritual, if you're not a believer, it's what you hold your values to. They don't clash all the times, unless there are things that you need to evolve in and you have room to evolve in. I'm not talking about doctrinal things. I'm just talking about your spiritual walk and your spirituality as a whole. It really what you believe is going to really affect where you go and what you do. So they don't clash unless you make it clash, but they're part of your core. Okay, so the difference again between vision and purpose, going back to the beginning, the vision is what you see. It's your preferable future. It's what you see in your mind's eye. Your purpose is your intention, your aim, your goal, the action steps to making it happen. Visualization versus action. Don't lose hope. What advice can I give to the person that's hopeless? There's a biblical scripture that says hope deferred makes the heart sick. And what's happening is the reason why you're hopeless is because you put your hope aside. You put your vision for your life aside. You've exchanged your vision for environment. And what I need you to do is I need you to make the role reversal and put the vision in its right place. And then the environment will submit to the vision. So don't give up your hope. Don't put it up. You remember one of the most important parts of the where are you going, when am I going to do it, how am I going to do it, why am I doing it, is the when. Put your stuff to work. You need to put a timeline on the hopes and the dreams that you have and start working on it day by day. I have an acronym for the word dream, and it says dreams require everyday action and maintenance. Dreams require everyday action and maintenance. That means every day of your life, you need to be touching your vision. Every day of your life, you need touching your dreams and making that dream work. The problem a lot of times is that we take our hands off of our dreams and our visions, and therefore, because we're not putting any work into it, we're not putting any love into it, we're not putting any of ourselves into it, we become sick because we've laid our hope aside. Don't lay your hope aside. No, as long as you have that sparkle in you, start putting a timeline on it. Start putting your hands on it. Start getting in communities like this where you're around other people that are about building something bigger than where you are. And that will help you keep accountable because it's exposing you to more. Don't give up your hope. I'm speaking to you right now. Don't give up your hope. Switch that vision for your environment. Take that gate. Stop making your environment the core and switch it. Do you also agree with the saying that a person without vision is like a ship without a destination? Yes, I agree. And remember, I said your vision is like the lighthouse that keeps your ship from crashing against the shore. Well, you're always going to have doubts about what you're called to do, okay? And that's okay. Because when you're working out your doubts, you end up seeing, you see more a lot that way. So I don't want you to start doubting your vision, but here's what I want you to do. When you start doubting your vision, you need to start getting into communities like this and communities that are about building the greater things and being around people that are doers, being around people that are building something. Why? Because it exposes you to the next level of more. And when you're exposed to more, what I want you to do is not say that this is not possible for me, but when you see somebody else doing what you want to do, it should say something on the inside and say that this is possible. If they did it, all I have to do is learn how they did it, and it's possible for me. If you don't believe something is possible, if you don't believe something is possible, you won't put any action into it. So I need to increase your belief system. And that's by getting in communities like this that will help grow your knowledge base and grow your perception of what is possible. And then whatever you start seeing in your environment and you're seeing these things, you got to be able to say, if they did it, it's possible I can do it too, and greater. You said earlier that you'll be launching your book this July. How can I have or buy your book? Okay, so it's in the process of going to the publisher now. The book will be available in July. And if you can keep on to my website my website is champim.org. I'll be posting a store link to it so that you can actually purchase it from the website as well. So that should be up this month in June. But I'm excited about that book because that book really talks about what you're looking at right now, that everyday people can lead. Sometimes student poor performance in the class becomes successful than those who excel in academic at the end. Does their vision affect the way that they deal with real life situations? Yes. I didn't really get a chance to really talk about my life story, but I was a high school dropout. You probably couldn't even tell, but I dropped out of high school because of my environment. My family fell apart. My mom and dad broke up and divorced. I was left with my mother who had bipolar schizophrenic disorder, which is a mental disease. And just life fell apart. I didn't graduate from high school. I went and we got what's called a GED education, but I also went straight into the United States military right from there. So I had an environmental situation that challenged my life, but I knew that I could not remain where I was. So the vision for my life was I need to get greater, and the only way I can get greater was I joined the military at that time, which again helped me to refocus my life and get the things that I needed and then get back on track. So yes, your academic performance is not going to be a guaranteed success that you're going to be successful in life. There are people that have less than you and less education than you that are making more and doing more impact. So your education is helpful. But remember, your education should be viewed through the eyes of your vision, not your vehicle. How do I know when I found my purpose? I believe that, like I said, there's a sense of peace. Like you said, there's no greater joy than when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I love what I'm doing right now. I don't know if you can feel it or tell it, the energy that I'm doing right now. But if I could be in this place forever, I would. And that's what I'm doing. If you have that sense of peace, a lot of times what you're called to do, you would do it for free. If no one would pay you to do it, you would still do it for free. It's that sense of peace and settling in your spirit that you say, yo, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I feel most fulfilled. So I do believe that there's a sense of peace and fulfillment when you're walking in your purpose. And the results is you have results. You have results. So when I'm I can't say I'm a motivational speaker and all 200 of you are confused. Hi, sir. Can you suggest the simplest way of how to cultivate one's vision? Here's what I would say. Find some time for yourself where you can just have vision time, where you can just imagine your life. Remember, I told you it all starts with the wish. Wishing is not bad. So just get in there and just start looking and seeing what your life can be. Meditate and just meditate on your life where you are right now and just get to that quiet place and just say, I want to see life and see my life and just see life as possibilities and then build from there to the dream. And then it eventually feed that dream until it becomes a vision. So just make time for yourself. I think a lot of times we get stuck in the doing and we get so stuck in the doing that we actually, we forget that there's a bigger picture we forget why we're doing what we're doing. So make time for yourself. How would you know that your purpose is for a specific job and if you're double-minded in your vision? Remember, your vision it's always evolving. So as I would say that I was so tied to being a motivational speaker and an international speaker that I didn't realize that I was actually becoming a global speaker. So things will grow. It's not double-minded. You got to leave room so that you can tweak your vision. But when you're at a specific job, what I'm saying is that you can learn anything from the job that you're in. So if you have a greater picture or a greater vision, I'm not at the same sales job. I was a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman. My first sales job. I am not at the same job that I was before when I first started. But there was so much that I learned from that job because it applies to the vision of my life. And then when you get a vision for your life, even the jobs that you had before, in your remembrance, you'll be able to be, wow, now I understand why I went through what I went through. What do you think the main reason for a person losing their vision, his or her vision? I'm going to script to large screen. Okay. What do you think is the main reason why a person loses his vision? Is media a factor? I think when it comes to your vision, you have to take full responsibility for what does and does not happen. Media is just an information source. What you choose to believe from media is what you choose to believe from media. And there's so many different media outlets. I don't let media dictate my direction because media could tell you tomorrow that the world's going to end tomorrow. And tomorrow comes and tomorrow goes. And the world as we know it is still here. I don't use media as my primary source of information for my personal direction. A lot of times I'm declaring and believing over top of what the media is saying. I am responsible. And that's where you have to go back to me. The champ part is the champion is in the inside of you. The I am is that everything that you need to do your purpose or your vision is on the inside of you. So everything you need is in you. It doesn't matter what the outside voices are saying. Good questions. Does purpose always is purpose always related to the will of God? Now, I am a Christian and I'm a spiritual. I have a very spiritual core. So, in essence, in foundation, I believe that in order for you to understand the purpose for your life, you need to know the creator of the thing. So, when you look at a TV and you have a TV manufacturer, okay, if you ever want to learn all the ins and out about that manufacturer, you need about that TV, you need to go back to the warranty and the manufacturer of that of what was created. So I do believe in core essence that God has a will for my life. Okay. When I teach it on a broader, I'm teaching you principles so that even if you don't believe in God, you can still grasp on the principles that you can apply it to your life, because whether you believe in him or not, he still gives you the ability for you to create the world that you want in your life. You can do it knowingly or you can do it unknowingly, but I try to speak on principle as a whole. How can we be convinced ourselves to focus on our goal despite of those distractions? So, what I do is that little vision thing I told you to write down, your what, your where, your why, your how, your when. You need to put that on I still believe in vision boards. I just don't believe in board vision. You need to put that little thing on a piece of paper, put it on a mirror, put it in your favorite book, put it on something that's in your visual every day. Okay. And you want to be able to have that goal in front of you every day. My new job, I'm managing a whole entire region, a whole entire state, over 2,000 agents now. So what I did was my goal, I put at the beginning of the month, I put it in my planner and I highlighted over top of it. And I look at it every day. I break the goal down into manageable pieces. A lot of times we put the goal in front of us and it's big picture, but the way that we accomplish the goal is by breaking it down into manageable steps that we can do it a little bit every day. Otherwise, we'll get distracted and we'll discourage and we won't put our hands on it because it's just too big. So keep it in front of you, break it down into steps that you can touch it every day and do something with it. Good questions. Thank you. Again, you can reach me at champim, as it's right there, .org, champim.org. If you ever need me to speak, you can always reach out to me on that platform. You can also reach out to me on Instagram at champimspeaks. And again, I want to thank you, Kaushik Datta and Umi Sama, for this opportunity to speak to your audience. And again, may this not be the last time we touch. And I speak again of the blessed life on you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, once again. Thank you for guide us and give advice to keep our vision more stable. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to the winner, dear audience. Today's webinar is so effective and important because it is directly and indirectly relatable in our personal and professional life. I hope this webinar will be helpful in your all. I would love to thank you all for attending today's session. Please leave a review on our page if you learned something, and we will help you a little bit. Please spread the information with your friends, and we hope to see you all again in next webinar. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the invitation. It was an honor to be asked to speak on your platform. I hope it was impactful.
You are always welcome. You are always welcome in this platform, sir.
Thank you, sir. Keep in touch if you have anything for us. I'd love to work with you again.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Dear participants, for today's certification is the always same process. You have to browse www.eduigp.com, eduigp.com, and in our website. Let me check if it's working or not. It's in traffic time. Okay. What I have to share. That's traffic based on traffic. Or in meantime, you can check this video. Thank you so much. This is the process of certification. It's so easy. Browse www.uigp.com. You can find today's topic, and if you are new, then you have to create your account. If you have an account, then you can log in directly. After that, just enroll, and again at the same button, click on get your certificate. This is the certificate pattern. Till now, we issued four kind of certificate. This is the webinar certificate. This is the quiz completion certificate. This is the certificate of lifetime membership, and this is our new edition, certificate of membership, global professional member. This is completely new edition from IGP. Thank you so much. Our next webinar will be held on 3rd May, day after tomorrow. Special topics on geometry. At 6 p.m. Bangladesh Standard Time, 8 p.m. Philippine Time, 5:30 in Indian Standard Time, 5 p.m. in Pakistan Standard Time, 10 p.m. 8 p.m. in Malaysian Standard Time, and so see you there at the same time. Thank you so much. See you again.